So with Shedeur Sanders falling from the first round to the 5th round, it puts him in an interesting spot on the Cleveland Browns roster.
Joe Flacco! Flacco!
Sauce time! Pickett!
With the 94th pick in the 3rd round, the Cleveland Browns select Oregon quarterback Dillon Gabriel.
Sanders gonna strut it to the end zone. Deshaun Watson, magical!
If you start with the quarterback room, it's insane right now. You have Joe Flacco, Deshaun Watson, Shedeur Sanders, Dillon Gabriel, and Kenny Pickett all in one quarterback room. All 5 quarterbacks, when healthy, are capable of starting for the Cleveland Browns. But in terms of Shedeur Sanders, it's really an uphill battle for him. Coming in as a 5th rounder, he's gonna have to be almost perfect through rookie minicamp, through OTAs, and especially during preseason. Preseason is gonna be his main chance to dominate and to get that quarterback 1 starting job. The problem is he has 3 quarterbacks that can easily take the number 1 spot. When you have a team that has 4 QB1s, you can't really split the reps between all 4. A lot of times during training camp, you see the 1s get the majority of the reps and then the 2 get a little bit. 3 might get 1 or 2 reps. Happened with Tom Brady a lot in his rookie year in 2000. And then you can look at the contract situation. At the end of the day, the NFL is a business, and whoever's making the most money, even if they're not the best, will most likely play. Joe Flacco signed a 1-year deal for $4 million. Kenny Pickett signed a 1-year deal for $2.6 million. Dillon Gabriel for $6 million. And then Shedeur Sanders with a roughly about $4.6 million. So for Shedeur Sanders, that doesn't guarantee any playing time for him. Because if he was a first-round pick earning $30 million, you know he's going to get on the field. Especially in today's NFL, if you're making that type of money and you're a top pick as a rookie, you're going to play during your rookie year. There's no more of sitting on the bench for your whole rookie year like quarterbacks in the past, like a Patrick Mahomes, like an Aaron Rodgers who sat for 3 years. There's really nothing like that now. Especially with the NFL now, where the NFL is built for young quarterback domination, you're going to see your rookies play. So you might be thinking, oh yeah, this is a great opportunity. You have some veteran guys in front of Shedeur Sanders, but it's anything that he can beat. Which is true if we weren't talking about the Cleveland Browns and their quarterback of Joe Flacco. Because just 2 years ago, Joe Flacco was dominating for the Cleveland Browns. Over 13 touchdowns in 5 games, leading the Cleveland Browns to the playoffs. Something as a Ravens fan I thought I would never see was Cleveland Browns fans embracing Joe Flacco. If you're the Browns GM, who do you have at QB next year?
I would keep Flacco. I just don't think Watson is the guy for us.
Flacco. Want Flacco, but we might be stuck with Watson.
Cleveland Browns fans ride or die for Joe Flacco. And the thing is, you might think it's like it's the fans. What do the fans have a say for the Cleveland Browns organization? But the Cleveland Browns are one of the few organizations where if they don't have support for their quarterback, they're not going to be there pretty long. How does that relate to Shedeur Sanders? Going through OTAs, going through training camp, I do not see Shedeur Sanders being that number 1 guy at a training camp. It just doesn't happen, especially when you have someone like Joe Flacco. They're going to want to see what Joe Flacco can bring to the table still, especially how it felt like it was like unfinished business. Because they had a chance to win a Super Bowl that 2023 year. It didn't happen. And they brought him back. They want to see what will happen if they give Joe Flacco the reins. That means going into preseason, it's going to be Joe Flacco as a number 1, getting the first team reps, getting most of the majority of the game, getting that first drive, and then Shedeur Sanders will be number 2. I don't see Dillon Gabriel or Kenny Pickett taking that 2nd spot. It's probably going to be both of them fighting for that 3rd QB quarterback, emergency quarterback spot. I'm going to be 100% honest. Shedeur can throw 5,000 yards in preseason. I don't see him starting over Joe Flacco week 1. Just because of the Cleveland Browns' history with Joe Flacco, how they really want to see what he can do, with the fans especially feeling that he can take them to a Super Bowl. Even though the Cleveland Browns, they have some holes around their whole team. We still don't really know if they even have a good enough defense or even have a couple other weapons to take them to the Super Bowl. But my best bet would be that Joe Flacco. That leads to 2 options to see where Shedeur Sanders' rookie year would lead. Option 1, Flacco does well. He plays like his 2023 version of himself, where he threw 13 touchdowns in 5 games, throws for 30 touchdowns and 4,500 yards. The Browns have a winning record, might even make it to the playoffs. If that happens, obviously Flacco will be that quarterback for the whole season, for the entire season. You might see Shedeur on a gadget play, but that won't really happen too much. At that point, it really just depends if they have a deep playoff run. If they somehow beat the Ravens in the AFC Championship to make it to the Super Bowl, that's not happening, by the way. But if it does happen, you might see Flacco back for another season. Option 2 is that if Flacco does bad, he plays poor, gets hurt, or the Browns start losing, then you'll see Shedeur playing. Whether that's week 2, whether that's week 8, whether that's week 14, you'll see Shedeur in action as QB1 for the Cleveland Browns. Then at that point, it's just time to cook. If he gets his shot his rookie year, is he ready now to dominate? So if he plays 10 games, he might have like a good 15 touchdowns, have a good touchdown interception ratio show that he's an NFL quarterback. And he will play in the NFL. It's just simply when.
They told me bust out my AP, perfect timing. Got them baguettes up on my neck and stay shining. It's never hot around my jewelry, chase a climbing. I went and got that new Maybach, I stayed grinding.